Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Laura and this is Small Stuff Big Family, and today I am bringing you a very special video. It is a very spooky tale about the haunted Lemp Mansion in St. Louis, Missouri. Look who I found!
I met her!
YouTube moms, I'm so excited. If you don't know, this is Pixie Canaday, my YouTube mommy friend from Lake St. Louis. She agreed to go on this tour with me. We're so excited, and she has been here before.
Yeah.
And then we've got her sister?
Yes, younger sister.
Oh God.
Way younger, like 11 years old, or 11 years younger.
Okay, her younger sister, Maggie.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna pick up my best friend, Caitlin. I don't know if she's gonna wanna be on camera or not. I haven't asked her yet, but we'll see. We're going to talk today about my experience at St. Louis's haunted Lemp Mansion, and I'm not talking about the haunted house where, you know, the teenagers come out and scare you with a chainsaw or the spooky like flashing strobe effects. No, I'm talking about real supernatural experiences. And even better, you don't have to just take my experiences and my word about whether or not the Lemp Mansion is actually haunted. You can go over and check out my friend Pixie Canaday's video as well. I'm going to leave that in the description box below for you. I cannot wait for you guys to hear her version of what happened when we were there, because some of the time we were together and other times we kind of separated and were exploring different areas of the mansion on our own, and so her story is going to be a little bit different than mine even though we were together. So I think that you guys will really enjoy that as well, especially if you enjoy this video. But before we get into my experiences and the footage from when I went to the Lemp Mansion, I think it's important to know a little bit about the history of the Lemp Mansion in general. Let's go all the way back to the early 1800s. I believe it was 1838 according to the Lemp Mansion's website, when John Adam Lemp, who came over from Germany and purchased the home. Now you guys, I have lived in the St. Louis area my whole life, and for some reason I missed that in the history of learning about this city, that there is an entire cave system just below the surface of the city of St. Louis, especially like more on the south city of St. Louis. So if you're from the St. Louis area, it's the area around like Cherokee Street and Carondelet, kind of that area right off of 55 over there by the Lemp Mansion, and Anheuser-Busch Brewery is on the other side of 55. It was so interesting for me to find out that that entire section of St. Louis is built on top of a natural cave system. When John Adam Lemp came here from Germany, he realized that the property that he owned was sitting right on top of the natural cave system. And not only that, but he had learned the process of making lager beer from his own father back in Germany. So when he came to St. Louis, he decided to make that a profitable business, and it was very successful. The Lemp family in general was extremely wealthy because of the lager beer that they produced in their brewery, and they stored the beer in the cave system. That's what lager means, to like let the beer ferment and age in a cool temperature, and the caves provided the perfect natural place for them to do that. So the lager brewery idea that John Lemp Adam had was an incredibly good one. He was extremely successful. I mean, he died a millionaire, and again, we're talking back in the 1800s. So these people, the Lemp family in St. Louis, were really like a celebrity status at the time. I think that's really important to know. When John Adam passed away, he passed the business on to his son, William Lemp, who just kept on expanding the business and making it bigger and bigger until the later 1800s, when the Lemp family had the biggest brewery industry in the city of St. Louis. Also very exciting for William is that later in the 1800s, like nearing the turn of the century, his daughter Hilda married the son of one of the Pabst, as in Pabst Blue Ribbons family from the Milwaukee famous brewing company as well. So it was like two big brewing companies kind of coming together and joining his family through the marriage of their children. So the 1800s for the Lemp family was very celebratory, a very good time in their lives. But that was all to change right around the turn of the century. According to the Lemp Mansion website, the first tragedy to strike the Lemp Mansion family was when William's favorite son, Frederick Lemp, died under mysterious circumstances. And that just really tore William apart. He could not bear to be without his son, or so many say that became a reason that 3 years later, William ended up taking his own life right there in one of the bedrooms in the Lemp Mansion. 1919 Prohibition hit, which, as you can imagine, hit a brewery business pretty hard, and their family fortune began to suffer because of that. The brewery plant had to close its doors, and the heiress to the Lemp family money was then William's daughter Elsa, who just 1 year later ended up taking her own life, allegedly. Now, I don't want to ruin all of the details for you in case you do want to take a tour of the Lemp Mansion yourself, especially the ghost tour, but I will tell you that it's very controversial, Elsa's death, on the cause of it. The official ruling is that she took her own life, but many believe that her significant other may have had something to do with that. So I'll just leave that up to you if you want to dig more research into it on your own, or tour the mansion yourself to make up your own mind about what happened to Elsa. In 1922, the Lemp Mansion family business was valued at $7 million, and they ended up having to sell it to the International Shoe Company for just over $500,000. And yes, $500,000 was a lot of money back in 1922, but nowhere near $7 million. And so you can imagine the financial strain that the family was under at the time, but they kept holding on to the Lemp family mansion, and just one family member after another was living there, and all ended up dying under very tragic circumstances. Most of them ended up taking their own life. William Sr.'s son, William Jr., ended up taking his own life, as well as his brother Charles. Even more tragic to me than somebody, wanting to end their own life is that Charles, when he went, he took his dog along with him. And that being noted, when you go over to Pixie's channel and watch her video, keep in mind about the dog. Now, it is said that many of those patriarchs that we mentioned and other family members are still present and haunt the Lemp Mansion family today. So now let's get into my experiences at the Lemp Mansion. The Lemp Mansion itself is absolutely gorgeous. There's stained glass everywhere. They have a beautiful carriage house. The Lemp Mansion is actually used today not only as like a restaurant, but you can also stay there, like a bed and breakfast type of situation, and they do the ghost tours like Pixie and I and my friend Caitlin went to. And then you can also even have weddings there, and they have a beautiful venue for that. I'll show you some clips here of Pixie and I walking around the outside of the Lemp Mansion family, just so you can get a feel for how gorgeous this is. So this is where they do the weddings. But was this built for the weddings? I mean, what was like this whole, like this all looks new over here to me.
New. Actually, the wedding that I went to, it was not this big out here.
Yeah.
It was not what?
It wasn't this, like this wasn't there when I went to the wedding. There was like a pergola, and but it was more like a gardening. It wasn't all of this built up. It's a lot nicer now.
Right. Like this area over here, like all this brick, that looks legit, right?
Yeah.
Like that looks.
This over here has always been there. That's part of the hall.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a spiral staircase over here too.
Oh, cool. Where's the spot where you felt like the cold? Oh, this way? Oh gosh.
And so if you go up here too, curtains are ripped up there.
Oh my, why?
And I was like, yikes.
Why are the curtains ripped?
I don't know, but if your paycheck's $500 rent, you better have no good curtains.
I guess maybe it's like mood.
Oh my. Now, do we get to see that area up there with the tour, or
I'm thinking that they take
if
off.
they rent it out though, how does that work?
It feels a little bit cooler right here to me, but I don't feel like a full on dramatic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The whole area.
Okay. And this is the Lemp Coach House. Is that like where they would keep like their carriage? Yeah.
It looks like a bar in there.
It doesn't feel as drafty to me now, though. It felt more.
Maybe I'm scaring them away. Creepy.
Sure, it's just like there's probably some.
The inside is beautiful as well. I mean, there is beautiful African mahogany everywhere. Like I said, the Lemp family was very, very wealthy, and so they could afford to pull out all the stops when it came to finishing and decorating this home. There are several beautiful fireplaces made of marble. The bathroom that's used as the women's bathroom in particular is absolutely gorgeous. We had to take video clips of the bathroom just to show you how much marble was used throughout that room. It's just breathtaking. The room that we started in was filled with beautiful African mahogany. I mean, just the details and the carvings into that. It's just a beautiful Victorian style home. Now let's get into the question that a lot of you probably want to know. Did you see any ghosts while you were on this tour? Now, I can't say that while I was on the tour that I saw any apparitions or anything weird, but there were definitely times where you felt like a coldness surround you, which if you've never had that type of experience or never heard of that, but sometimes that cold feeling can be associated with supernatural energy surrounding you. You know, it's like that coldness that just brings goosebumps on your skin and will not go away. That's the type of feeling that I got in a couple different places of the home, particularly when we went up to the second floor. And there was a room that allegedly does have a lot of supernatural activity. I can't remember which of them it is, but it's either William Jr. or Charles that spends a lot of time in this one room on the second floor. And that room felt very cold to me in general. Now, I did not see anything spooky necessarily when I was there, but there have been many stories that our ghost tour guide shared with us about other people who have stayed there, even as recent as, you know, the last few months, like right before COVID, that have had very, very real supernatural experiences staying there. Now, even though I didn't see any ghosts, I did notice when I was looking back at some of my footage a few things that I think are worth talking about and discussing.
Check this out. You feel the cold? I think that's a bit. But I want to go up there, but look at this. Look at this. It says office is private, right?
Oh, stop. So what I want to point out for these clips is that you can see Pixie's shadow on the right of this wall right behind her. But if you look past her into this little alcove area, you can see underneath that like exit sign by the door, there's like a shadow person is what it looks like to me. Now, again, these are not things that we noticed while we were there, but just after I was reviewing the footage. And then again, when we turn the corner, there's a man's silhouette right there next to the staircase before we went up. It looks like a person wearing a hat, which if you know anything about the Hat Man, it's a certain type of a shadow person. And we've actually looked up videos. Pixie found another YouTube video where the alleged Hat Man was caught on camera at the Lemp Mansion itself. And then I wanted to show you too, this girl goes right back to that same area. She was not with us, by the way, but she goes right back to that area and the shadow person is gone. There's nothing there. Again, these are not things that we noticed while we were there, just things that I saw when I was reviewing my camera footage and thought that looked a little strange. Now this part, this is up on the third floor where Pixie and I were just kind of exploring on our own, and I'm going to let her tell you more about that in her video. But there was a little boy named Zeke that is allegedly on the third floor. That's his area, and a lot of people come and bring him toys and gifts. I believe Pixie caught something on her camera in that area as well. I'll let her tell you that, but her sister had a terrifying story about when they were walking down the stairs. I'll let her tell that to you.
So we were coming down from the top stairs, stopped because I was like, I kept thinking I could hear like the creaks behind me, not like directly under me, like literally somebody was following me down the staircase.
Oh, great.
And then we would stop, and then there'd be like another 2 steps, and then it would stop too. And then we'd keep going, and then there'd be like another 2 steps. So I don't know if it was just like a really old staircase, but I don't know. I didn't hear that going up it, which I felt like I would have heard it going up it too. If it was that creaky, I would have heard it, you know, in front of me.
Yeah.
But
she didn't. She like stopped me, and she's like, "Wait, do you hear?" And so like I stopped it, and I'm like, I hear it. It sounds like there's like our footsteps with somebody behind us.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it was him. And I thought it was, I showed Maggie, Laura. I was like, oh my God, look, other people have left toys for him up here.
Yeah.
It just gets me. I just want to stay here the night now. I'm like,
He's gonna come home with you.
I don't know. I believe
He's
in
gonna
all
be
of it.
like, Mama Pixie, can I come home with you?
Laura, would you
And you know that you would say yes, so. And I want you guys to let me know what you think. Were we in the presence of a supernatural being or not? Do you think that it was just something that you can explain? If you have an explanation for it, I want to know. So please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have an amazing day, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.